Hey all, and welcome to Shadow Space, and we're commenting on another BCP video. This is called... Oops, excuse me, that's not the right button. This is titled, Woke Socialist Mayoral Candidate Loses It After Homeless Encampment Pops Up Outside Her $2 million Home. This is uploaded May 29th. This is being recorded May 30th. And link is in the description.
But it's alright.
Homeless on every corner.
LA isn't a city, it's a public toilet at this point.
I don't want to walk to my car and go, oops, I stepped in human feces.
Actually, I'm not angry about LA. There's traffic, but it's been like that forever.
There's homelessness, but it's been like that forever.
Yeah.
Poverty, period.
Close.
What is Mayor Bass doing to solve these problems?
I ain't heard nothing. Ain't no change.
Nothing.
Still smell like I haven't seen none.
I wonder sometimes.
Who were you voting for?
Bass.
Right. Nothing that Bass has done, but you're going to vote for her.
I'm not even voting.
Does it matter?
See, and that one guy is the problem, is that yes, you have all these people who say that they're going to support Spencer Pratt.
It really doesn't matter. Spencer Pratt.
Spencer Pratt.
We're going to have a Pratt Daddy summer, I'll tell you that.
He actually tells us the truth. He tells you the real hard truth of what's going on.
Karen Bass.
What is Karen Bass's greatest accomplishment?
Removing the homeless.
Yeah, she did a great job with that.
I believe so. Do you agree?
No.
Absolutely not.
Treatment first. I will go below the Harbor Freeway tomorrow with her, and we can find some of these people she's going to offer treatment for. She's going to get stabbed in the neck. These people do not want a bed. They want fentanyl or super meth. These ideas cost us over $400 million to house for 70, what did you say, 3,000 people for $400 million? This is an absolute failure for both of them. They're a team.
Boy.
Whoops.
So we got to talk about the classic "Not in My Backyard" story that defines the champagne socialists who are trying to take over.
Because there are some people who think that what is happening in LA is fine. There are people who think that who agree with the status quo and want to go along with what's going on.
Our country, okay? These people,
as it stood last video, Karen Bass still had a significant lead over Spencer Pratt, and Nitya Raman also had a pretty significant lead and was more neck and neck with Karen Bass.
claim that they believe in a lot of cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, insane stuff that makes you question whether or not they're actually sane, right? But they are sane. They just want power and control, because a vast majority of the Cocoa Puffs policies that they believe in, they only believe in it for other people. They don't believe in it for themselves, right? Like, all of these socialists just so happen to be rich. They're living in multi-million-dollar mansions.
Well, and evidenced, case in point, they don't care about what's happening with these homeless people. You listen to those people that said that they were voting for Karen Bass. They didn't necessarily say that they were happy with the conditions that the homeless people were living in. They didn't say that they were can't really come up with another point, but they were mostly happy that the homeless people were gone, that the encampments were gone. They were happy that they could walk down the street and they didn't have to see them. Didn't really have anything to do with their condition or what happened to them or whether that was good or not, whether the treatment that they were undergoing was good or not. I don't know. Because you could also make the argument that those were the arguments that they would use, but really they're just vote blue no matter who Democrats, who were going to support Karen Bass anyways. Those are just the talking points.
Houses, nice communities, nice neighborhoods. They're sending their kids to the best schools, right? They're living amazing lives, right? As socialists, okay? While their comrades suffer, okay? And this story right here, I think, is a great example of what I'm talking about here. As we got to talk about Nitya Raman, the outright overt socialist, the LA city council woman running for mayor in this race, because she is upset after getting a taste of her own medicine, the policies that she supports for the rest of the city. It showed up to her doorstep at her $2 million house, okay, in LA, and she got pissed off about it. And I want to talk about it because I think that this story is great. Just so you guys understand the background here, Nitya Raman is the same woman who basically dismissed concerns from parents about homeless encampments popping up outside of their children's schools, right? So you have these homeless people trying to sell drugs, doing drugs, prostituting themselves, all types of chaos and crime happening outside of these schools. And Nitya Raman, this was her response to those concerns.
Okay, hold on. I'll go back up here and read this. 312.
Dismiss concern. Because I think that this story is great. Just so you...
To be fair to Nitya Raman, she's never cared about community safety. I don't think a kid is going to be safer because a tent is 500 feet away from a school. She said after voting against keeping homeless encampments away from schools last year.
Concerns.
May I ask a specific question? I'm wondering if you support 4118 around schools and daycares.
I already voted against it, you know?
There you go.
Because it doesn't work. I mean, it's like, I don't think a kid's going to be safer because a 10 is 500 feet away from a school, you know?
That will kill me.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
Because I guess I can understand it from the point of whether a tent is 50 feet away or whether a tent is 500 feet away, it still isn't getting the person out of the homeless encampment.
So you see that, you heard that. She said, I don't think
Which
a kid is going to be safe.
Plays into the rhetoric that the people that were supporting Karen Bass were saying was they don't really care. They're just happy that they don't see them. They don't see the homelessness, whatever that means.
Is 500 feet away from a school, right? That's Nitya Raman basically telling parents, look, who cares if a homeless encampment is right outside of the school, right? You got to deal with it, right? At the end of the day, that is what she said. This is what she said, okay? And she stuck to that with her own policy, right? Her own vote, okay? This is what she did in her community, okay? This is what she told her constituents. Now that same issue showed up outside of her home, now all of a sudden she's mad and she's upset, right? Let's take a look at this.
These videos all over on social media, sparking debate over political protest and personal space. The videos now viewed hundreds of thousands of times online.
This is crazy.
Fake homeless encampments set up outside LA City Councilwoman and mayoral candidate Nitya Raman's home.
This is happening all over the city, and we brought it to her doorstep so she can see what other people are going through.
A man who claims he helped organize the stunt spoke exclusively with Fox 11 with his face covered.
All the political violence that's been going on is really important that people protect their identities.
Tents, trash, old tires, and a barbecue Monday morning, all outside Raman's home.
Basically doing a parody ad for her. Like if we were in charge of her campaign, this was the ad that we would make.
Yo, what's going on?
What he describes as a broader, sarcastic effort across Raman's Council District 4 in support of Spencer Pratt. Do you know Spencer Pratt, or are you affiliated with the Spencer Pratt campaign?
Absolutely never met him. Big fan of his work.
Who is funding this?
So we have a group of donors from around the country. Check us out online at Safe Cities USA.
My support has been growing.
At a press conference Thursday, Raman discussed a new UC birth.
You really can't beat, because it's his message, but it's as much his delivery of the message as it is the message itself.
Poll showing her in second place in the mayor's race, but did not address the videos.
I looked out the window and I realized that there were people setting up what was, I think, a fake encampment, like a homeless encampment outside of my house.
Earlier this week, though, she spoke about them on the Adam Conover podcast.
I have two little kids.
Yeah.
They didn't see it, luckily, this morning. But,
luckily.
I feel badly that that I'm even subjecting them to that at all, but but it has definitely, this has gone far beyond what I expected the campaign to be about.
They feel like this draws the line.
Yeah, I think that, it's a public street, and I can see where she's upset, but think about everybody else that's going through the same thing constantly that are being ignored.
This race already getting national attention.
Because some of them,
with the election now just a few days away. Matthew Seedorf reporting.
I don't
Fox
quite
11.
know what I was looking at.
Wow. So you seen that? You heard that? Nitya Raman, for whatever reason, did not think that this campaign, this race would be about the real issues facing Los Angeles, right? This is what she thought it'd be about.
Beyond what I expected the campaign to be about. I, again, thought it would be about bike lanes and management of the Department of Transportation.
Wow.
That's what she wanted to do. That's what she thought being a mayor was softball easy issues. Not what to do in emergencies, not having emergency plans, not being able to actually defend the people or support the people during things like natural disasters, during things like fires, making sure that brush is cleared so that if fires happen, they don't spread and get out of control to where you need to have the fire prevention. No.
Wow. She thought that the campaign would be about bike lanes in the Department of Transportation, right?
Nope.
Almost as if LA is great. LA is amazing, right? It's not a shithole.
Right, it's actually about the city being a shithole.
The issues of LA, the main issues, bike lanes,
Yeah.
right? The Department of Transportation. That's what she thought, right? Again, these people
Can't deny that.
insane, right? They are lunatics, okay? This woman was upset that a fake homeless encampment was set up outside her house. She's glad her children didn't see it, right? Weren't subjected to it, but she thinks that everybody else's children, your children, should be subjected to it outside of their schools, right? But outside of her house, though, her children, right, should not be subjected to fake homeless encampments, but real homeless encampments outside of school.
I mean, what is a fake homeless encampment? People living in tents with just a whole bunch of drugs, just living. Just existing. It's one where I don't know how long they did it for. They should have done it for longer. They should have sat there for like a week and had her see what it was like.
Well,
having to get up every morning and have it be there. Having it be a persistent problem that isn't being addressed.
The children need to be subjected to that, right? It's not going to make them safer for the homeless encampment to not be right beside the school. That's not going to make them safer, according to her. Do people understand how these politicians operate, right? These socialists operate?
Because it's the humanitarianist language. Oh yes, I would be the one to implement the solution that would get rid of homelessness. Okay, how would you do it? I would change the policies and just non-answers. There's a wall and then there's nothing.
They don't believe in for themselves, right? That's why all of them are rich. They're all rich. They're rich. They're wealthy. They run in wealthy circles.
They can pull on their education. They can say, well, they can go through basic human needs. They can go through mental health services, they can go through job readiness training, they can go through all the things, but they have to think of it. They have to actually care about the issue enough to do something. If you don't care, or you don't think that that's something that you're actually going to have to deal with, then you're not going to think that it's an issue, and you're not going to build platforms around it.
They don't believe in being...
I mean, notice that in those interviews at the beginning, none of them were all of the people were either voting for Spencer Pratt or they were voting for Karen Bass. They were not voting for this woman. Maybe they were. It's possible that they did and they just didn't make it into the clip.
Soft on crime, not in their neighborhood. Right?
Don't know.
They don't believe in allowing homeless people in their neighborhood. They don't believe in any of that stuff. But for everybody else, that's what they believe in. It's amazing how that works. Amazing. Who knows? Maybe, just maybe, there should be some illegal immigrants shipped to her doorstep as well, too, because she's boo-hoo-whining and crying about Spencer Pratt wanting to end the sanctuary city.
Nitya Raman says ICE is kidnapping people kidnapping people across Southern California and attacks Spencer Pratt for wanting to end LA's sanctuary city policies, which she co-authored. She says she will connect activists with NGOs and private donors, or even give them city resources, to organize resistance against ICE and regularly audit the LAPD to share. I think that's sure. They are not sharing any data with ICE.
Status of LA.
Even with all of the resistance here, even with every single elected official and resident saying we do not want ICE here, ICE is still on our streets. They are kidnapping people across Southern California. It is still going on. Even with a very robust resistance here to what the federal government wants to accomplish in America, we are still harmed. Now imagine what that happens when the mayor is in.
So why not take this opportunity to name some of the names of people who have been kidnapped by ICE? You say it's happening, and yet I don't hear names in the news of people who are disappearing. I don't hear. I hear there. This is. I have never heard this before. I mean, I've heard it from people like you. I haven't heard anything. I haven't heard anything further than people are being kidnapped. I don't hear names. I don't hear stories. There's no evidence attached to it. It's just a claim.
Inviting ICE into the city when the mayor is saying, I will end our.
The city gets safer. That's what happens.
Sanctuary city status in a city of immigrants. Right. Like, the idea is baffling.
Of documented immigrants.
To me. Just how can this even be a possibility for us? It feels.
And undocumented immigrants, I guess.
Surreal. It really does. I want to make sure our LAPD is not collaborating with ICE in any way, or even giving the appearance of collaboration with ICE. That has happened far too often, and it has undermined people's faith in local law enforcement and in our city's ability to protect them. If you're seeing that LAPD is...
You already can't protect them. Evidenced by the businesses that can't stay open because of the rampant crime.
Working with federal law enforcement or appearing to work with federal law enforcement, I think that absolutely disintegrates your relationship with your city, and it's devastating for our city. They absolutely should not be doing that. So I'd want to make sure that there is absolutely no collaboration, and that LAPD is subject to audits of their actions, as well as our data sharing practices, to make sure that anything at the city is not being shared with federal law enforcement databases that could be used for immigration enforcement as well. This was part...
Is a policy that Seattle's mayor was implementing.
Part of actually the sanctuary...
Was restrictions for them. It was they have a camera system that has like a command center that they monitor the cameras in case crime happens. It was something to turn that off so that ICE couldn't get access to the data. Well, it sounds like she's going to implement, or she wants to implement, if she's going to be put in office, something similar.
City ordinance, which I co-authored and helped pass at the city. And I want to make sure that that ordinance is actually being followed in every word to ensure that residents are being protected. Finally, here in...
Wow.
Because then the obvious rebuttal to that is you didn't or Karen Bass at the very least, didn't really keep the people safe whose houses burned down.
Look at what we have here. The author of the piece of legislation at the city level to not allow local law enforcement to work with federal law enforcement, right? Basically, she's saying, I'm totally fine with, amnesty for illegals, right? Illegals can come here. They should be able to live free.
See, and this is the problem. When people say, why don't the police do anything? This is why. Because there are laws that prevent them from doing things. Because there is legislation, there is red tape that makes it so that they can't actually do anything about the things that happen.
Right?
Their hands are
no
tied.
Punishment for them when they commit crimes. They shouldn't be deported. Yeah. I guarantee you, though, if illegals showed out outside of her house, right? If they showed up outside of her house, I guarantee you her tune would change, right? I guarantee you she would be a strong advocate of having those illegals removed outside her house. I'm sure she would want her children subjected to illegal immigrants being outside of her home, right? Invading her neighborhood, okay? I'm sure she would have some issues with that. I'm sure she doesn't think that her home is a sanctuary, right?
No.
So, yeah, I mean...
It is for her.
People like this,
for other people?
They're crazy. They're absolutely insane. And I think Spencer Pratt is doing a good job at demonstrating that.
It's scary to me because I don't think there is there's the experience to actually deliver on results.
So that woman has had, I think, almost 5 years. She's been the chair of the homeless housing department for the last 3 years. The drug addicts that are attacking moms that are naked in front of kids, that is on her.
So who is actually responsible for this decrease in homelessness? Is it her or is it Karen Bass? For all the people who are voting for Karen Bass, is it her being on this board? Or is it Karen Bass? I mean, she was on this board. What does that mean? What did that mean that she had the ability to do?
Her
I have no
and
idea.
Mayor Bass. This is a woman who fought in her own district for moms that didn't want drug addicts selling drugs, being naked in front of kids in front of the school. She's fighting them on camera, saying there's no difference between 1 foot and 500 feet to have naked drug addict encampments in front of kids. So when these people talk, you're literally listening to a lunatic. And
she's personally not a lunatic, right? Not when it comes to her own house, right? Not when it comes to her own home, but just for everybody else, right? For everybody else.
At least too. She's not even going to be a conversation. We should just focus on Bass. After the debate, the betting apps, she went from 65% to, I think she's at 5%. She's so irrelevant that we should just focus on Bass.
I'm going to ask you,
Yeah. So you seen that, you heard that. This is who we're dealing with, right? And I'm trying to figure out, why is the choice so difficult for the people of Los Angeles? Okay? The people who are currently running, the Democrats in the race, the Socialists in the race, are
because of Democrat control. Democrat mind control. Their ability to project fear into their base so that anyone who doesn't have a D next to their name or who doesn't toe the line is an enemy. Is someone that you should not trust, is someone who's untrustworthy, is someone who you should think twice before you just go along with whatever they say. There was a thing again tonight that I saw again about Jimmy Kimmel. Saying to not repeat the mistake. Oh boy, I can't remember what the wording is. What the wording was. It's something like Spencer Pratt was making the same mistake as voting for Donald Trump or something. I don't remember what he said. He basically said that you shouldn't vote for Spencer Pratt, that Spencer Pratt was a mistake. So it's one influencer versus another, I guess. I don't know.
Responsible for the quality of life issues in that city. They're responsible for the city.
I guess I didn't see the joke. I don't know. I don't know how you could blatantly criticize someone's campaign like that and make it into a joke
being a complete and total disaster. This should not be a hard choice.
without just saying it and then expecting people in the audience to laugh. So again, just it's just a shield to say whatever you want.
Reality that we live in.
It's
when it comes to
comedy.
politics, we have completely insane people who are voting, and that's the problem, right? That's a huge, huge, huge issue. But we're gonna see, right? We're gonna see if something changes here in a couple days or so. I'm just saying that, you know, this story right here is a great example of how these socialists actually think, right? What they actually believe, okay? All of the crazy policies for everybody else, but not for them, right? When it shows up to their doorstep, all of a sudden they got a problem with it, right? So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share.
So now that this person has basically been I don't even know. Now that they're out of the race, the group that went and did this to her now need to go and do it to Karen Bass. So that she can have to deal with it, so that she can deal with it. I don't know. You know, it's one where it's getting close. It's one of those where I guess I don't really know. I don't really quite know what to think about it, I guess. Because there are enough establishment Democrats or vote blue no matter who Democrats where I don't know. There are enough people on board with, because there's the woke, because there's MAGA and the moderate right and the extremist right. So there's the woke left, there's the moderate left, and then there's the extreme left. It's one where there are enough woke left people to where I imagine it would probably be very close.